I understand that hydrodiplomacy or diplomacy per se happens within the context of sovereign states. But all the agreements and the decisions that are adopted by sovereign states to be effective need the support, need the agreement of water users at different levels. That all is hydrodiplomacy.
One of the things that BRIDGE does is through its training packages and dialogue platforms, it facilitates access to knowledge about the benefits of these international conventions relating to the use of shared waters.
Même si le fleuve est là, sur la frontière entre les deux pays, comment amener les parties prenantes à partager ces bénéfices à l'autre de manière surtout équitable?
For the past 2 days or 3 days, what you have been discussing, exercising, or what you have been saying is just like a reflection of what is happening in the Lake Chad Basin. So it's really good. It will help us, to move forward to face the reality and say, okay, this is our problem and this is how we can solve it.
The training that we have just had delivered by BRIDGE, I would say the innovation here is the fact that it's been characterized by a lot of exercises. After each module, we have the opportunity to practice what we have acquired during that module and try to tie it to particular case studies and even to our own water sources we're coming from.
As part of IUCN's strategy for biodiversity conservation, we see one of our key pillars is to help countries, help stakeholders put in place good water governance, including in transboundary basins.
Benefit sharing is very important. Yes. And when we focus to the second river basin, of course the second river basin we have the 2 or 3 COVID. And we work with the 2 countries, Cambodia and Vietnam. Because the upstream, we cannot to understand, I'm the state upstream, I not need to care anybody. No, not to think like that.
C'est une formation, une approche hautement participative. Il y a les études des cas et les études pratiques. Il y a les échanges d'expériences parce que vous avez des participants qui viennent du Niger, qui viennent du Tchad, qui viennent du Cameroun, qui viennent même au-delà du bassin du lac Tchad. Vous avez des participants qui viennent du Burkina. Donc ça donne l'occasion d'échanger, de partager l'expérience.
Si les États coopèrent, se mettent ensemble, ils tirent beaucoup plus de bénéfices par rapport à un pays qui vit dans l'isolationnisme.
Il faut que toutes les parties prenantes soient impliquées et qu'on puisse prendre en compte les préoccupations de toutes les parties.
During the negotiation, we learn how to persuade, how to listen to the other, how to get to the common point.
The negotiation exercise, I think the game and the role play is very important because it's a practical that we can use for the negotiation in the 3 countries.
I learned from this training that it is very, very important to have a kind of stakeholder analysis of the area where this common resources, and also to have a good knowledge of the projects that are going on in that area. I think those are the things that we are going to look at when we leave from here.
Il y a d'abord les bénéfices environnementaux qu'on a tendance à oublier, alors que c'est des bénéfices assez importants. Mais il y a d'autres aspects encore de bénéfices, notamment les bénéfices politiques en termes de participation à la prise de décision qui ne sont pas souvent visibles, ou bien encore en termes de sécurité et stabilité qui ne sont pas également visibles. Ça également, c'est un élément nouveau que nous avons appris à travers cette formation. L'autre chose également que j'ajoute par rapport aux bénéfices, c'est beaucoup plus en termes de partage équitable. Parce que même si les bénéfices sont là, comment faire, quels sont les outils qu'on peut développer pour que chaque partie prenante puisse tirer vraiment profit des bénéfices.
With the exercise we have seen from different, which are very perfect from different parts of the world, they were helpful. They tell us about how we are supposed to negotiate.
To the BRIDGE project, maybe we get some idea about how to negotiate with Cambodia and Laos. We take the water for the power generation, but we try to release some water to downstream. So that's the thing we think about the benefit sharing.